1984, George Orwell. I'm sort of initiating a new course for these notes, moving into the list of the Guardian Top 100 best books ever written, no matter what the language. A list, however, which might be changing. I was looking from the phone, it's true, moments ago, to try and see where to start, to like have an order. Start with the beginning and then continue with the books I finished, which is most of what they had on the original list, with the exception of Gargantua and Pantagruel, which is not really my thing. Montaigne, which I want to read, I've run through maybe 20, if not 20%, let's say 15%, but that's a long book of essays, and I like it, but it scares me somewhat, the monumental size of it. But it will come. There's The Man Without Qualities, that's again started, 10-15%. That I didn't really like. And there are a few, the monumental Indian oeuvres, Mahabharata, Ramayana, and Bhagavad Gita. Well, so these are in the plan to read, on the to read list. And Bhagavad Gita I've read a little, but it's I don't know, it's not unlikable, but it doesn't seem thrilling. Coming back to 1984, this is also, alas, not on the list of absolute favorites because of mine. Because I've been living through 1984, so I don't much care, or better said, I don't enjoy reading about cruelty, torture, the ever-present Big Brother, and the other elements that have been there in my life. Well, not the rat, if you remember the gruesome scene from the film with the wonderful Richard Burton and one of the best actors I know, John Hurt, where they put a rat as a torture. Richard Burton is the torturer, and John Hurt is the man who's going to have an extreme pain. There's a rat and there's an explanation. You see, he's there, but then he has access to your belly through a wire tunnel or something small, cage, whatever. And he will come and move around, but he will get hungry. He will hesitate, but then from one point he will start making his way through your belly, eating from your insides, and you don't die, you just suffer. So there you go. That's not, my belly is intact. In fact, it could do with a little diminishing, not with a rat, but its size. Sweets are the problem. And there you go. The fact that there was a problem with food, and it was an obsession and a tendency to eat and like the food when it was there. So craving, continuous craving, which is in large part, most part, my thing, my frailty. But then it's also contribution from that 1984 regime, that crushing power. So George Orwell, if I'm not wrong, was in the first place a supporter of the communists, but then he flipped over and saw what communism really means, And in 1984, he has not just a communist, but any totalitarian regime in view. But this applies perfectly to the communists, which were always watching. They didn't have the means. 1984, from the book, the novel, which is, by the way, a work of science fiction anticipation. It didn't happen, but then we have so many elements. People keep referring to 1984 with the cameras that can see everything. They refer to that with the very American government's spying program with the NSA and Edward Snowden. But then this is so complex. Maybe I will be coming back to 1984 with a second note, even if I repeat this, it's not one of the most enjoyable reads I've had.